everyone, it's Vicky. Welcome back to another tutorial. Today we'll be making a rainbow heart multi-stitch cuff. This is going to be a pretty tall cuff, so if at any point you need to add some more string, just go to the description and there will be a video linked below that will tell you how to do that. Also down there will be my contact information in case you need help or just want to say hi, show me some awesome candy pics or something. Let's get started with the supplies. Today I'm going to be using, I got the bead organizer out, y'all. Gonna be using some rainbow glow in the dark beads, which I got at Jelly Store Crafts, so that's these. And then I'm also going to be using this white 1mm elastic, which is very stretchy yet durable, also from Jelly Store Crafts on Etsy. And then of course, don't forget your scissors, friends. Won't get very far without these. First I need a big old piece of string. I measure my string by just doing this. And I would estimate that that's like 5 feet of string. Bam. And then whenever I need to add string, I do just 1 arm length so it's not as awkward to work with. Alright, let me zoom in here. So we're making a patterned cuff today, so this first step is going to be a lot more complicated than the other multi-stitch tutorials that I've made because there's like a specific pattern that we're doing. So I'm going to start with 1 orange bead, voila, then 2 yellow beads, so yellow, yellow, then 2 green, then 2 blue, and then 2 purple. And then I'm going to actually switch string ends so that I can put the yellow, green, blue, and purple on the other side of the orange bead as well. So I'm going to go yellow, yellow, so that's going to be on the other side of the orange bead. Then 2 green, then 2 blue, then 2 purple. Okay, so now what we've made here is this is the base of like the front of the cuff where the heart is gonna, the pink heart is gonna sit right on top of this orange bead. So this is the front. So now we're gonna make like the back part of the single, if you can like visualize it. Let's see, how many beads is this so far? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 17 beads so far. First of all, remember that in a multi-stitch cuff, you have to make sure that you have an even number of beads on your single that you start out with. I think that 28 is the magic number for my wrist. So if I have 17, 18, 19, 20, plus 8, I need to add 11 more beads. So I'm going to start by adding 5 on each side. So I'm going to go on one side and do pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, so that's 5. And then I will add the same 5 to the other side. Pink, orange, yellow, green, blue. And then I will need to add 1 more bead to make it 28. And as you can see, each side ends in a blue bead. So I'm going to put 1 purple bead on one side of the string. And that will sort of like connect the rainbows when I tie it off. But before I tie this off, I am going to just tie only like a single little loop and then hold it over my wrist and make sure that this will fit me before I continue. And it looks like yes, this is a perfect fit for me. 28 beads. So I will go ahead and do 2 more square knots. Make sure you tug in between your knots. Not too hard though. And that helps keep your knot from coming untied, especially with those slippery clear strings like Stretch Magic. So now I'm gonna cut this short end off. So here we have the orange in the very middle, and then 2 yellow, 2 green, 2 blue, and 2 purple on each side of it, and then sort of just a rainbow to fill the back. I think I should probably zoom in the camera so you guys can see what I am doing better. Basically, we want to start by putting a bead on top of whichever bead on either side of your string here. See, there's the knot. There's 2 beads on either side of it. Basically here I'm going to add a blue bead because you want to pick the primary color. It has to be pink, yellow, or blue. Since that one's purple, I am not going to add a purple bead, I'm going to add a blue bead. If that makes any sense to you, I sure hope it does. We're trying to basically line it up to where we can put a pink bead on top of this orange one. So, and I've discovered that it's got to be a primary color that we start with. So I'm starting with a blue rather than a purple. So I'll put a blue bead, then I'm going to put my string through this next green bead. So I hope those mouth words made any kind of sense to anyone out there. Very good. So now we've got that going for us. Then I'm going to place on a yellow bead, putting my string through the orange bead. Here we go. Now I'm going to add a pink bead. Okay. So now we're getting to, you see how there's 2 purple beads there? We're getting to sort of what we will refer to as the front of the cuff. So here, I actually need to add a blue bead on top of this second purple bead. So here we're going to go in with a blue bead. And then I'm going to put my string through this first blue bead. And that will sort of turn this blue piece into a diagonal stripe that will eventually form a giant heart. So next, I'm going to go in with a green bead to go on top of this blue one. Then I'm going to put my string through the first green bead. Yet again, we're still going diagonally. Okay, so we're gonna add a yellow, put our string through the first yellow bead. Then I'm gonna add an orange and put my string through the orange bead. So I guess what I said earlier was wrong. We're not putting the pink bead on quite yet on top of this orange one. We're gonna do that on the next row. I am going to go ahead and add an orange bead and put my string through the second yellow bead. So we're kind of just mirroring the other side that we just did of the front. Next we will add a yellow bead and put our string through the second green bead. Boy, this thing is really flopping around, isn't it? Okay, we're gonna add a green, put our string through the second blue bead. I'm gonna stop and tighten this up real quick. It's getting kind of floppy. Okay, then I'm going to add a blue bead and put my string through the second purple. So now we're back to the part of the cuff where there's just one of each color. And this part you just put each colored bead on top of each other. So on top of this pink bead, we're gonna put another pink bead. And then place the string through the orange bead. Then next I'll add a yellow bead and put the string through the green bead. Next I'll add a blue bead and put my string through the purple bead. And now I'm gonna go ahead and just go back and tighten my row because it's looking a little loose at the beginning part we did. Just tugging on that and stuff. It's just tugging on some stuff. Okay, so once you've done the first row, here we go, the front should look like this. So the orange kind of formed like a little V, and then this side looks like that, that side looks like that, and then the back is sort of just straight up and down stripes. So next I will be putting my string through the next blue bead that's sticking out. And then I will add a green bead, then a orange bead, and I'll put my string through the pink. Bam! Then I'll add a purple bead. Okay, then over this blue gap here, we're going to continue the diagonal green stripe by putting a green one on top of that blue one. So I'm going to add a green bead. Put my string through the next green bead. Next we're continuing this yellow diagonal stripe, so I'm adding a yellow and putting my string through the yellow. Okay, next we're continuing the orange diagonal stripe, so I'm adding an orange and putting my string through the next orange. And finally, we get to add the first pink bead that's going to form a little pink heart in the middle of the cuff face. So I'm adding a pink, putting my string through the next orange. There we go. Then I will add an orange, putting my string through the next yellow. Now adding a yellow and putting my string through the next green that's sticking out. Now I'm adding a green. I'm going to put my string through the next blue that's sticking out. Now we're getting to the part where we're just going to add the colors on top of each other. So going with a purple here in this gap on top of that purple bead, putting my string through the pink, adding an orange here, and putting my string through the yellow, then adding a green, and a purple, Alright, now that row's done, let me show you what it should look like. Like this. Now on to the next row. Gotta put my string through the next green that's sticking out there. Alright, so let's go yellow, pink, blue, yellow, orange, now I'm going to put a pink bead on either side of this little middle pink bead here. So pink, and then pink, next will be orange, then yellow, Then blue. Once again, we're on the back of the cuff. So we're gonna go with pink, yellow, then blue, then blue, alright, so as you can see, we're kind of starting to take shape. This is kind of a big pattern, so it'll take a while before we get a heart in the front. Alright, on to the next row. So I'm gonna do orange, purple, and green. Goodness gracious, this stuff's getting all tangled. Alright, we're gonna continue our orange diagonal line here. Okay, now we're gonna go into our pink heart in the middle. So here a pink, and then another. Ooh. And then another. So there we go. Now we're gonna continue the orange diagonal line. Look, and it looks like all our other lines are just going straight up at this point. So green, purple. Just in my room shouting colors to myself. Orange, green, purple, and then green. So it looks like this now. We have like half a pink heart now. Alright, on to the next row. So on this row, it looks like everything's pretty much just going straight on top of its own color, except for when we get to the pink heart in the middle. So just fill those in. Okay. And see where we have two orange right here? This is where we're gonna put a pink. Okay. And then the next three will also be pink. Okay. So it should look like that. And now just go straight up with the rest of the stripes in this row. Alright, on to the next row. Now this row is special. For this row, all the way around, just go straight up with the colors. So whatever color is in the gap, just put that same color on top of it. Alright. Whew. Are you tired yet? Because I am. Okay, so that is what the front should look like right now. Let's keep going. Okay, so once again, all the colors in this row are just gonna be whatever the gap is, add the same color on top. Well, okay, I'm running out of string, so I'm gonna go ahead and just add like 2 more feet. Don't forget that in the description below is a link to a video that will teach you this technique. One time somebody told me it's called a magic knot. I never knew that. Okay, now I'm gonna finish this row. Alright, now what are we gonna do on this next row? Ooh, okay, this next row is gonna be so simple. You're just gonna fill in the gaps with the same color bead that's in it, except for when you get to the very middle of the pink heart, you're gonna add an orange bead there. Alright, so here we go. Okay, so now into the middle of the pink heart, don't forget, put an orange bead there. Now I'm gonna add a pink. Just gonna keep going around, filling the gap, and putting the same color on top. We're getting close, guys. We're almost done. Okay, so now with this next row that we're doing, you're gonna fill the gaps by putting the same color bead on top. However, except for when you get to the pink heart. Our heart is now complete. We just need to add orange on top of the pink heart. So, here we go with this row. We're actually starting right on the pink heart, so I will guide you through this. So I'm going to put a yellow here on top of this yellow bead. And then next, I'm going to put 4 orange in all the gaps that are on top of the pink heart. So here we go. Orange. Then another orange. Then another orange. Another orange. There we go. It should look like that. And then we're going to continue around and just add the same color on top of each other for the rest of the row. It looks like I have the perfect amount of string to finish this too, I hope. So that's it for that row, and let's go on to the next one. Alright, see where my string ended up here. So now with this row, what we're doing differently, I think I'm actually going to make this the last row. Am I? No, I'll do, I don't know if I'm gonna make this the last row or not. Anyways, this row is gonna be a little bit different because the yellow stripe, we're gonna curve it inwards towards the top of the heart. And then we're going to add orange on the tips here and then a yellow in the middle. Yeah, so I think it'll look best if I do two. Anyways. Let's go in with our yellow bead on top of this orange bead. Alright, and then on top of the pink point of the heart, I am going to put an orange bead. Alright, and then in the very middle of the heart, I'll put a yellow bead. Then I'll do an orange on top of this other point of the heart. Okay, and then I'm gonna curve that yellow stripe inwards by putting a yellow bead on top of this orange bead. Okay, and then all the rest of the way around, just fill the gaps with the same color. Okay, ooh, that's wrong. Don't do what I just did, children and adults and grandmas watching. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I am going to add one more row because I think it looks weird with just one yellow right there. So I'm actually gonna add a little bit more string, just like maybe like 5 inches, so I can get one more row in. A lot of people ask me like how much string I use for stuff, and like I don't really keep track of or measure it. I just add it when I need it, you know what I mean? One more row, y'all. One more row. We got this. So we're gonna continue with, let's see. At this last row, this green stripe is gonna curve in right here, and then we're gonna put yellows above the heart. And then we're gonna curve in this green one, and then the rest will just be normal. So here, let's put some yellow beads on top of the heart. So go yellow, 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 and yellow. Very good. Okay, then to curve inwards my green stripe, I will add a green on top of this yellow. And then the rest of the stripes will be normal all the way until we get to the last bead over here, which will be a green. Alright, so follow along with me here. So now that I've gotten to my green stripe that's next to the heart, I'm going to curve the top in and put a green bead on top of this yellow bead. And that is it. That is the last bead, y'all. Wow. So now we just got to tie it off. So I am going to see where my string is coming out in between these two beads. Well, there's also a string connecting those two beads, and I am going to thread the string underneath there. So I hope you can see what I'm doing. Got it. So then you hold the loop in one hand and the tail in the other, and then tie it 2 to 3 times into square knots. Be sure you're doing the little tug, especially if you're using that slippery clear string. It tends to want to come untied right after you try to put it on for some reason. And I'm just gonna cut that. Boop. Oh, this time I was able to slide the knots inside of the bead so it doesn't look so bad. Yes! So now it should look like this, guys. It's a big one, isn't it? It takes up the whole screen. I'm gonna give away this one as well. I will be listing this in my Etsy store for 20 cents plus shipping. The 20 cents goes to the company Etsy and not to me. And The shipping obviously goes to USPS and not to me, but yeah, so if you want it, it's gonna be there for almost free. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you want to see more tutorials and maybe other random stuff, I don't know. And until next time, peace, love, unity, and respect.